Hi, hello, how are you all? I need like a catchy beginning. Send me some catchy beginnings of things I should say at the beginning. I hate beginning these. Okay, I'm going to talk about Seint makeup today. I'm going to do a natural, neutral summer look. And then when it's all on, I'm going to show you how to take your day look and bump it up to an evening look. So you don't have to go wash your face and then put on all new makeup. You can take your day look to a night look. I take an everyday look and go out on the town. That's what we're gonna do. All right, so here it is. This is the palette 12. I like this one. I don't remember what it's called, but it's got gold flecks in it. On the picture, it just looks like splatter paint, but there are little shiny, let's see if we can, there we go. Look at that, little flecks of gold. All right, the palette 12 holds 12 full-size tiles and then 24 eyeshadow. So this is gonna be my everyday look. I've got my main highlight, brightening, contour, my bronzer, and then I'm gonna be using a bright color because it's summer, hello, and we're tan, hello, and so we should pop some pink on our cheeks. It just livens your face up. And then I have my setting powder, and then on the lower half, I'm gonna go take my day look and zhuzh up my cheeks with some saffron. And then this is my everyday look. I've got Rome, which is a champagne shimmer, very light flecks. I've got Bubba as my transition, and then I have Trust as my dark color. That's how I like to do my eyes. And then these are the colors I'm gonna use. I'm gonna do each eye, one on each eye, and show you how you can take a, everybody gets so scared when I start bringing out Bayou. I swear, everybody's like, ugh. I'm not asking you to put the whole thing all over your eyelid. It's a pop. So I'm going to show these two. This is Blondie, which is a gold shimmer, and then Bayou, which is a turquoise shimmer. And they're going to make your everyday look pop. And it's just fun when you're going out on the town, just to have that little extra pizzazz, okay? So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the buff brush. Boop, boop. All right. And I'm going to go in to my main highlight now. When I pick it up, I'm just pushing this in and picking it up. Now I'm using a contour color as my main highlight. That's the color that I am right now. And I tried it one day and I loved the way it looked. So I'm gonna take Walnut and I've put it on the brush and I am going to put on a beard. So I'm just going to brush this. I mean, I'm not using a lot. I'm just brushing a really light sweeping over my face because it's a light coverage. I'm bringing it up here just because I have some discoloration, and then I'm moving it over to the crease just to cancel out some of that redness. But I'm mainly emphasizing my jawline down here, and then I'm going to bring it onto the sides of my chin and then under my chin. So it's a beard, not a mustache, just a beard. So again, same thing over here. I'm just going to sweep this, and I'm just stamping this in to that walnut color, and I'm just bringing this down the beard area, down the side of the chin. And I have a little visitor here, so I steeple over that. I don't wipe because I want it to stay. And so then I'm going to come up onto my discoloration here, and I'm just going to stamp over it. If you have melasma like I do, steepling over it is key on the whole process. When you're doing your blush, when you're doing contour, bronzer, steeple over the discolorations. Wiping it just wipes it. All right, I'm going to go back into that, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the middle of my forehead here, above each brow, and then up around the middle. I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to just kind of blend this out, just like that. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do for my foundation color, my main highlight color. So if you want to try this makeup, I will color match you. Send me a picture, makeup free, a couple steps back from a window so I could see your skin tones, and I will send you a list. It's a doozy. I'm not going to lie. I send you a doozy because I want to send you one and done. I don't want you to be like, well, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? It's all on there, and then you can ask me questions on why I chose what I chose or anything else, or what could be added to that. It just makes it, to me, simple. One and done. All right, now I'm going to go into my brightening, and I'm going to pop in on the small end of the buff brush, and I'm just going to put a little bit here and right here, and right here. And then I'm going to blend this out. Now this is a shade or two lighter than my skin tone. And then when I put this in my palette, I always keep my main and my brightening together. That way I can always tell, because sometimes they can look a little bit similar, especially when they're separated and in a palette full of colors. So I'm just gonna go to the big end and I'm just blending this out, steepling around that buddy of mine. And it looks a little weird, but I'm gonna be adding more colors. There we go. All right, I'm gonna switch over to my detail brush and I'm gonna go in to my contour. I'm not gonna add a lot of contour. I have some here, and I'm just gonna add a little shadow on the side of my forehead here. We have natural shadowing there, and I'm not trying to flatten my face out. I'm putting a really light amount because I'm trying to do more of a subtle look. My main highlight and my brightening just kind of evened out my skin tones. And that's it. So I'm sweeping that lightness out just to blend this all together and even it out. There we go. Seamless, right? Okay, I'm going to go back in to this contour. I'm using indigo. If you're using indigo, it's super dark, super scary. So is Astoria. Some of the colors can look scary when you put them on. You might be a little scared to put on too much. Don't. Slather that shit on. If you put on too much, it blends out, promise. So if you're not seeing it, it's probably because you're not putting on enough because it's scary. Totally understandable, totally normal. I'm just drawing 2 11s on my nose, on the tops, but not the very top and not the very side. I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to stamp the tip. And that just is going to structure my nose. I'm going to go up and down. I'm going to blend this out. Now I'm only using a very small amount because I want light coverage. It's summer, it's warm. You don't want a bunch of makeup on. You just want to lightly get your face. I'm going to use a small end and just buff out that bridge. Just, that's all I want. I'm going to put a little brightener right in the middle there. All right, lighten that up. Boom. All right. Boop. I'm going to do my finger on my cheekbones because I feel like when I do the brush, people get an idea. I want to show you. So there's not a lot on there. I've just pushed on twice, and I'm going to go onto the top of that cheekbone and I'm going to come down, and it looks dark and scary, but it blends out. And I'm going to keep that there, and I'm going to use my bronzer with it and my blush all at the same time because I love the way that they end up working together and one doesn't get over blended through another. All right, so now I'm going to do my jawline. This is one of my favorite spots to get. Just structures my jaw, makes me look a little more slender in my jaw because I feel like I've got a pretty full face. Taking the big end of that detail brush, and I'm just going to circle and pull. Circle right here, and I'm pushing this up towards this contour because there's shadowing, and pull. And then I'm going to pull it down like that, and it just creates this look of a shadow, and it structures my jaw. Makes me feel better about myself. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Circle and pull. Circle, pull. And then I'm just going to pull this down, bring this up. That's it. I really like, after I apply my jawline, to go and blend it right away because that's the one spot a lot of people forget. You're not going to forget your nose. I've seen it happen before. But you're not going to forget your nose. You're not going to forget what's right in front of you. But these little hidden jewels, they'll get forgotten. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my bronzer. I'm going to use the small end. Am I going to use a small end? Yes, small end of my detail brush. And I'm going to push in a little bit of bronzer. Bronzer is super creamy and it'll pick up. So just tapping it is all you need to do. And I'm just going to give myself some warmth right here because that's where my sun hits. And I'm going to bring this down and I'm going to bring it a little past that contour because I want it as a blush. I really like using my bronzer as a blush in the summer. I'm going to put my warmth here, and then I'm going to bring it down, and again, past that contour color. So it's almost like a mask. Okay, all right. The next color I'm going to go into is I'm going to push in to Dahlia. It's a very bright pink, very pigmented, and I'm going to pop this right at the end of that bronzer right here and here. This is just going to make a nice and warm color. I'm just going to wipe off excess onto a microfiber. All right, going to go to the big end, and I am going to push this bronzer around. I'm going to avoid that brightening area, but I'm just giving it, blending that warmth in. Really light coverage, not a lot of makeup. It's dewy, it's creamy, it's natural. They all work so well together. Look at how warm that just gives me a nice glow. Okay, I'm also going to add a little bit. I'm going to put it on the big end, and I'm going to get my neck. Now I know that looks scary, but my chest and my face are always darker than my neck. So if I add this and I'm blending this, it just bridges them together. So I'm just bringing that up right here, just doing circles. And it was so scary before because it's such a different color than my neck, but it just brings it together. There we go. I'll forget that too. I do all the time. Okay, I'm not doing my under eyes yet because I'm going to do a nice sweet eyeshadow. All right, so I'm going to use this corner of my detail brush, and I'm just going to be using a light touch, and I'm going to swirl that contour. This is my favorite way to do my contour is to blend it with my bronzer and my cheek. So I start with the bronzer, I start with the contour, I work into that bronzer, blend that into the hairline, and then once I get to that pink, I'm going to start steepling because I want to keep that pink where it is. But look at how that just works so well together. Look at that. It's so pretty. All right, let's do that again. So start with the contour, using little circles, lightest of touch. You don't need any pressure. Bringing that into that bronzer, into the hairline, bringing it down, and then steepling onto that cheek. Do you see how they just are a nice warm summer color? You can even blend this up your nose, and it just will give you that super tanned glow. I love doing that. And I didn't have to add more product. I was able to move it because it's cream and they work together because they're buddies. Okay, I'm going to do my eyeshadow. So I'm going to take that small end and I'm going to go into my brightening, and I'm just going to put some on my eyelid from lash to brow. Lash to brow. And this cream, I'm going to set it with a powder. I'm going to switch back to my buff brush because it's a dense brush and it picks up a lot of product. And I'm going to push and I'm going to grind this in. Hair grows. All right, pushing this in, and I'm really grinding into it. It's well pressed and very fine. And I am going to set my eyelid with it. And this makes a really nice light base. Okay, take a peek. Look at that. It's brighter than the rest of my eyes, which means if any eyeshadow doesn't hit a spot, it's gonna brighten. And I really like that in the summer, okay? I'm gonna grind into this again, and I am gonna set in all the places, because in the summer I get oily. I'm gonna set around my nose where I get movement because I talk a lot, who knew? And right here, okay. That's it. Now we're gonna dive in to the eyeshadows. Eyeshadows are always so fun because you can do so many different things. So I'm gonna start with my smudge brush and I'm flipping it to the bottom. Now this right here is an eyeshadow tile. Your whole face fits right here. And I love that because you can use all these different colors of shadows and you can clean your brush in between. You don't gotta spray it, you just wipe that excess. It's just this little spongy thingy. A little warm water, a little Dawn soap cleans it right out. Let it air dry and it's good to go for real. I've had this thing for, it just got released like 6 months ago. So I've had it for about 6 months. All right, so I'm cleaning this out. I am going to take the big end of my smudge brush and I'm gonna go into that color Rome. And I'm gonna focus that all right here on the inner lid, just like that, on both sides. And then I'm gonna also put it just on that upper part of the brow bone under the eyebrow. Why do I always have a hard time remembering the word eyebrow? I do, I don't know. It's probably fear of the camera, believe it or not. Okay, I've put those in. I'm going to switch to the small end. I'm going to go into Bubba. It's a brown, but it's very warm. It's light. It's a great transition color. And I know a lot of people love staying in the neutral browns. So I wanted to show a pretty everyday neutral brown. So this is Bubba. And I'm putting this on my brow bone. Now I have hooded eyes. You see how this touches down here? So I put this way up here. You got a lot of real estate, use it. It's a good spot to show some really beautiful colors. So I'm just bringing that over on the parts that we see, just like that. Same over here, just popping that Bubba color up at the top, bringing it over. Isn't that so nice? It's warm, it stays with what we're going with, which is a nice summer color. All right, there we go. Okay, next I'm gonna go in to my eyeshadow brush. I'm just gonna clean this off. If you don't have this cleaning tile, you need it, you need it, you need it. All right, I'm gonna go in with the small end and I'm gonna push into Trust. It's a nice dark brown. I actually use it on my brows, if that's a good reference for you, what it looks like. I am going to put this on the outer corner and I'm gonna push this up on that brow bone, and then I'm gonna push this, like a V. Just like that. I'm gonna push this up a little more. I'm gonna really dead my eyes out so I can make sure I'm getting it where I want it. Flip it and fluff it. And you're just gonna use little circles and you're gonna blend this out. It's just a beautiful everyday. I'm gonna see if there's any left here. Put a little more on, and I'm gonna go under my lash line here. This is just a pretty neutral eye. Look at that, isn't that nice? All right, loading up that small end, and I'm starting outside that outer corner, and I'm gonna build this into that crease, and then into the V. I'm gonna dead it out so I can make sure, isn't that a nice way to call it? I'm gonna dead out my eyes and get that up there. I'm gonna flip it, and I'm gonna fluff it. And this just shows that Bubba where you want it. It shows that beautiful Rome shimmer. And then it has this nice neutral brown. This is such a good everyday color. Getting that Trust down here. Gonna fluff it up. Isn't that pretty? All right, let's add some eyeliner. I use an inexpensive eyeliner, Maybelline Tattoo Studio. I like it. It works for me. And I'm just going to waterline. So here's my trick for eyeliner. If you want to do a bold cat eye, I'm not going to do that today. Never go all the way over. Just kiss right here on the edge of that lash line, right there. Then you can go and do that cat eye only halfway over. And then when you get your mascara on, it will look like it goes all the way over. And it keeps your eyes open. Getting that lower waterline. I'm gonna just smudge some on my lash line here and rub it. There we go. I'm gonna flick it up, push this into the lash line here. I'm just keeping this nice and small. My kids are going ham. All right, waterline. Oh boy. And then I'm gonna get that lash line on that inner corner. Such a good trick. I'm going to do my lower lash line, watering, smudgy, smudgy, smudge. My kid's crying, which means she's going to come in here. Cool. Love kids. All right, push this out. Just like that. That's all I want to do. And then I'm going to put some mascara on. It makes so much noise. I'm so loud. All right, so this is a nice and neutral eye. I'm going to brighten in a minute. I'm going to show you 2 ways to brighten because I think this is important. I was just talking with someone yesterday about mature under eyes. She was calling it old lady skin, and I don't like that because you can have textured, puffy under eyes at young ages. It's not old lady skin. So I'm just pushing this into my lashes and thickening them up. But when it's your under eye, whether it's any age or not, it's a soft tissue because it's the bridge between your orbital bone and your eyeball. Okay. So I'm going to push, push, and pull but less is more under your eye, especially if you have mature textured under eyes. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to do the under eye. One for non-textury and one for if you have very mature under eyes. All right. Doesn't that make a difference? I swear, but isn't this such a pretty natural look? Yes, thank you. I knew you agreed with me. Okay. Here we go. Nope. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to use the blend brush under the eye. I like this. It's a light brush. It applies a light coverage, which is perfect. So I'm going to go to the small end and I'm going to go into my brightening color. And I am going to go right here and make a triangle. Okay? Bring that up. And I bring mine down a bit onto my cheek here. Because if I just kept it on the soft tissue, it would accentuate it a lot. I'm just going to pop this here. And then whatever's left, I'm going to push onto my orbital bone. I'm going to flip it and I'm going to press and steeple this. But it's such a light brush that it doesn't put a lot of pressure on this and it just brightens. Look at how pretty that is. Just sweep it. So light. Look at that. Now, if you have very mature, very textured under eyes, this is what I want you to do. I want you to get your finger, get your brightener, and I want you to pop it here and here. And that's it. That is it, guys. I'm going to have you take the small end of your blend brush and I want you to just swirl this with the lightest and then bring it over, 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 because you just need a light coverage, and then blend, blend, blend down onto that orbital bone. And that's all that you need. It's 2 kinds of ways of brightening. You can take your main highlight and pop that right under it for extra coverage if you have discoloration, but keep those 2 brightenings here and here, and then blend. And if you need more coverage because of darkness, you can use a little bit of your main, but less is more. And now I'm going to make a match. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of brightness right here. But do you see how easy that is? It's just a matter of less. Okay. Now, my children. Okay, let's put a little bit of lip on to make me happy. At this point, I assess if I need any discoloration fixing, if I have a pimple raging, if my melasma is peeking out. I have acne scarring that sometimes likes to be like, hey, I'm still here. They never like to leave. Okay. Oh, fun. Okay, so this lip color is so pretty. This is Beauty Counter. It's the color Petal. I love it. It magnetizes shut, but it's just this really pretty sheer pink color, and I love it for summer. So if you're looking for a good summer color, this. If you need a Beauty Counter girl, I got a girl, let me know. Okay, so let's jack this up a notch. So this is your day, like, hey guys, let's go have lunch. I'm going to work. I'm on the whatever. You're just living life. This is a neutral, beautiful look. All right, very pretty. So let's say we want to like going out. Hey, let's go get drinks. Open up your palette to the bottom where we have our deepener. This is where we're going to live now. You're going to take a brush. I'm going to use the blush and bronzer brush, and I am going to zhuzh up my cheeks. They look nice, but I'm going out. I want to be a little more bold. It's going to be dark. We're going to take pictures. I'm going to push into saffron here. I love saffron. So pretty. And I'm going to smile a little, and I'm going to focus right here. And I'm just going to push this like that. And I'm just going to jack this up a notch. Flip it, fluff it. Look at that. Get a little more, boop, boop, boop. Little goes a long way. These are highly pigmented. Again, smile a little and pop it up on the bottom of those apples. Pop that in. Look at that. Flip it, fluff it. Getting shirts made. Flip it, fluff it. Okay. There we go. I have pumped it up a notch on my cheeks. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. let's look at these colors. All right, so I have two eyeshadow colors here, Blondie and Bayou. Your eyes are natural, but you want them to be just a little more. Just have a little something extra. You can rub your finger into Blondie. It's such a pretty gold. And you can just pop this right here in the middle. Look at that. And you can keep this in your purse so you can touch up through the day. And if it's at the end of the day and you feel like your makeup's moved, just grab one of those brushes and just reset the makeup. Don't pop into here and be like, oh, I need to add more. You don't. You do not. You do not. You just need to go grab a brush and you go in and you press and you reset. You push the makeup back where it was, pop into that powder, and you just press over that and reset it. So I get movement right here, so I would just take this brush and I'd push it. I get movement right here, push it. And it just molds it back, pushes it back together. I dive into that powder and I reset. I repowder what I just set. Make sense? You don't need to add more makeup. You just need to put it back where it belongs. It's like toys, kids' toys. Like, hey, they've moved around, let's put them back where they belong. Same with your face. Just put that makeup back where it belongs. Don't add more product. You're gonna add texture to your skin. You're gonna add texture to the texture that's there. This is makeup. It's not magic. We can't stop the texture, but we can put our makeup on so it doesn't accentuate it. We're trying to camouflage it, not accentuate it. And so by putting it back where it belongs, keeps that makeup that's been there all day there without piling more on. Okay, so we've put some Blondie on. That's pretty. If that's where you want to live, you can do that. Let's talk Bayou. Everybody's so scared of Bayou when I say do Bayou. They're like, oh, no. Okay, so we're taking this everyday look that we've added a little bit of Blondie to, and this could be your night on the town. Very pretty. But we're going to put Bayou on, and you just need a finger. Oh, so scared. Pop it right there. Right where your light meets your dark. Not so scary, is it? No, it's not. Let me show you something else. So we pop back in. I can put a little more on. I'm making that face I hate. Look at that. Oh, did I just blow your mind? Probably not. It's just makeup. But I feel like I could have. All right, popping this back on my finger. And again, I'm just pressing this in between that light and that dark. There's two options right there. That's more than two options. It's three options. Or you can not do the Blondie and just do that Bayou pop. But isn't that pretty? Tell me. That's not pretty. And it all fits in the compact. Do flippin' not leave your compact in your car. Just keep it in your purse with you. I mean, it's small. They could be smaller. You could have sugar. Where'd it go? You could use a palette 8, which holds 8 full-size tiles and then 16 eyeshadows. So you could easily take your powder. So you could say, okay, I've got my makeup on. I'm going to be going out tonight. I need a smaller palette with just what I need. So I'm going to put in my powder here. I'm going to go grab that saffron because I want to pump up this. Shoot, we could do this with a palette 4. Let's do that instead. So you put your powder in. We're going to take that saffron to zhuzh up our cheeks. Pop our eyeshadows in. Put it in your purse and go. You could even take that saffron. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you guys. But I wanted to do a light coverage of makeup, and I wanted to do, I need to spray myself with setting spray. There we go. It's never good getting sprayed in the face. Okay. I just want to show you a nice light summer coverage of makeup with an everyday neutral eye, but also give you an option to bump it up and go out at night. All right, that's it. That's all I got. How pretty is this? I've outdone myself. Have a good day, guys.